What's up guys, Chef Rick here. Hope you guys are doing well today. So today I'm going to be making a masala lamb. Now growing up, mom used to make lamb curry all the time. And lamb curry would usually be more tari than the lamb. There'd be a lot of tari and a little bit of lamb. In this situation, we're doing a masala lamb. Lots more masala, but also lots more lamb. And it's more of a it's not as wet. That tari is not going to be wet. It's going to be a little bit more thicker, more rich, kind of curry, creamy, kind of curry going together with this nice little, you see what I'm doing here? That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting all these flavors together and just, putting it into the lamb. The difference between a masala lamb and a lamb curry, well, traditional curries, they use whole spices. And this is what we're going to be doing today, is using whole spices. Recently, I did a video with Chef Dipna from the UK, and she uses whole spices in her curries. This actually elevates the whole dish altogether. Growing up, you know, mom would take 20, 30 different spices, roast them, and then blend it into like this masala, right? But we're not doing that today. So big up to Chef Dipna for teaching me, and now I'm going to do my own kind of version. But the first thing we're going to do is going to chop these onions. So let's get started in breaking this guy down. Onions really got to me. They always get to me. So the onions are done. They're chopped, and you want to kind of finely chop them into small little pieces. With ginger garlic paste, 1-to-1 ratio. You basically blend them together with a little bit of oil, and you get your ginger garlic paste. All right, so I got my cassette. I'm gonna put this on a medium heat. Once everything is prepped and everything is clean, your cooking will be a little bit more enjoyable. Weapon of choice today. Yeah, I used to get beat up with this one a lot. So for this dish, it requires about 2 pounds of lamb. So I'm gonna start off with 3/4 cup of canola or vegetable oil. I'm gonna let that heat up, and then we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. Now, the way to check if your oil is hot enough for the cumin seeds, take a cumin seed and you're gonna throw it into your oil. And if it starts dancing around, like it's at a 90s dance party, then you know it's ready. Once it's got a little bit of a buzz going, you'll see it kind of, you know, dancing around, and that's when you know your oil is hot enough. You can throw the cumin seeds in there. Got my handy dandy lunki here. Check out the lunki. I've got cumin seeds, garam masala, chaat masala, red chili pepper, black pepper, turmeric, 2 teaspoons. So if you watch, oh look at that, jumping around like it's at a dance party. That's perfect. Now right to that, I'm gonna add star anise. We're gonna add that right into the oil, moti leche and cinnamon, and our bay leaves right into that oil. I'm gonna bring that oil and the heat down a bit. And the reason why we're doing this, we wanna add fragrance to that oil. And then when you add the onions and the tomato sauce and the lamb, it really comes nicely together. Honestly, that moti leche and that star anise really add amazing flavor profiles to that masala lamb. Oh, if you can smell it, it smells amazing. Now what we're gonna do is to this, we're gonna add our onions. And we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes on medium, medium-high until it becomes caramelized. You wanna get that golden brown color. In the meantime, I'm just gonna take 2 chilies. You wanna finely chop it. Another thing you can do is when you're making your ginger garlic paste, you can add the chilies into this because we're gonna add this all together after these onions are cooked. Okay, so the onions have been cooking for 5 to 6 minutes, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add our ginger, garlic, and our green chilies to this and cook it for about 3 to 4 more minutes. I'm gonna pull it off the heat. If you're afraid of it spitting out a lot, just pull it off the heat and just mix in that ginger and garlic paste. The last thing you want is to get burnt or hurt. We're gonna add it back to that heat. Just turn it down to medium. We had it at medium-high earlier. And you're gonna let this cook for about 3 minutes. Make sure your area is nice and clean. Put this in the sink. As you're in the kitchen, you learn to clean as you're going.
And I also yell at you.
My wife also yells at me because sometimes I'll just get into the kitchen, I'll just create some amazing dishes, and then it'll be a mess. Everything is coming together nicely. So I'm just gonna pull this off again. I'm gonna let that sit. So we're gonna add about 80 grams of butter. Stir in that butter, get it nice and melted. Okay, so I've added the tomato sauce in there. I pulled it off the heat because I'm gonna add my spices. And then we're gonna put it back on the heat and let it cook for about 10 minutes. To this, I'm actually gonna be adding 2 teaspoons of coriander powder and 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. 2.5 teaspoons of turmeric, 3 teaspoons of red chili powder, 4 teaspoons of salt, And you can adjust this. I know it seems like a lot, but we're cooking a lot of lamb. All the spices are added in. We're gonna move this back onto the heat, and I'm gonna stir in all those spices that we've added in. I'll let that cook for about 10 minutes and stir it every couple of minutes because you don't want it to stick at the bottom. Basically what we're looking for is that oil to separate from that tomato sauce. So when you see that puddle of oil coming to the top, that's when you know it's ready, and then we add our lamb. This is the most important part. This is your turka, say your turka process, or the binding of flavors. Oh baby, the oil is starting to separate, it's coming up. I want to give this a good mix, you don't want to stick to the bottom. And then we're going to cover this for another 2 to 3 minutes and let it do its thing. In the meantime, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spice, swad. Salt, swad. Tomatoes, swad. Everything is just so swad. It's swad. So this has been going on for about 8 to 10 minutes. We're gonna lift up the lid. It looks pretty ready. Let's take a look. Oh baby. See how that oil is separating from the masalas and you got little bubbles here? Oh yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. I'm gonna take my lamb and we're gonna add it right to this pot. Now be very careful when putting it into here. It's gonna splatter out, so very gentle, very slow. Add your lamb to your pot. So we're just gonna mix this all together and we're gonna add some water to this. Remember that tomato that I had left over from here? You just add the water so you don't waste any of that tomato juice. So we're gonna add about half a cup to a cup right now. So all we're gonna do now is we're just mixed everything in. We're gonna set this aside and we're gonna put the lid back on. Put it to medium high. We're gonna let this cook for 10 minutes until I open it up again. And I'm gonna give it a mix. I'm gonna add some more water if I need to. This is gonna go on for the next hour. You wanna cook this lamb at medium high or medium. The longer you let it cook and simmer, the tender the meat's gonna be. But you just let this cook and do its thing. Okay, so this has been going on for about 20 minutes now. Every 4 or 5 minutes I go in there and give it a nice stir. We're gonna check it out right now. Oh baby, look at that meat separating from the bone. So this starts off as like a nice orange kind of gravy, and as it cooks down, it turns more like a reddish brown, dark brown, reddish, thicker gravy. Now, you can see that the curry is starting to simmer down and thicken up a bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add maybe about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of more water. And we're gonna let that continue to cook down for another 20 to 30 minutes. And you want that gravy to kind of be more thin now. And you're gonna just keep cooking it down more and more. Okay, so this has been going on for about an hour now on medium heat. We're gonna open it, we're gonna add our cilantro and garam masala. We're gonna cover it for another 10-15 minutes. Here, look at that, guys. Look at that gravy. It's like beautiful, nice and thick, not too thin. The meat is nice and tender, okay? So I just took a piece out. I just want to try it and see how it is. See if that meat is nice and tender. It's nice and soft. Okay, I'm gonna get some of that study. Let's try it out. Oh, come on. That study is so nice. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of cilantro. 2 teaspoons or so of garam masala. This will give it a nice finish at the end. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more sea salt to this. I'm gonna put this back on the heat, give this a mix, and we're gonna let this cook for another 10 minutes, I would say. Woohoo! She's all done, ready to go. Let's take a look. Woo! Baby! Look at that. This was worth the 2 hours, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna give this a good stir to make sure everything is nicely mixed and ready to go. Oh, look at that. It's like the meat is just coming off the bone. So at this time, I'm just gonna take out all the bay leaves and those whole spices, whatever I can, out. And then we'll plate, and then we'll eat and enjoy. Guys, take a look at it. So beautiful. We're gonna finish it off with some cilantro. Oh, beautiful green. Look at that. And some ginger. Put that right on top. All right, guys, it is done. It looks amazing. I want to show you how tender this meat is. Look at that. It's just butter. Like that's just straight up butter. Okay? All right. There we go. That was so suave. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to Chef Dipna from the UK for teaching me how to make this delicious masala lamb. If you guys enjoy this, please share it with your family and friends. I'm going to be making more videos like this, so I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to go enjoy this masala lamb because it's delicious. I can't talk anymore. This is calling my name. Good eats, guys. I'm not crying. I swear.
You are.
Someone's got to invent a way to not cry while cutting onions down. My wife beats me.